Well, it's Solstice of Heroes 2020, and we've got a few questions as to what on earth is going on with it all. So I'm going to talk about the progress rate and how we can get that sped up. I'm going to talk about a few mistakes that are actually made in some of the progress items that you need for some of the armor sets. I'm also going to talk about whether or not it's going to be worth your time actually doing the Magnificent set, because you need certain DLC to complete it. And I'm also going to go over some things about the EAZ, which you'll find very handy to know. First of all, the big thing is the amount of time it takes you to upgrade the armor. I've been following Bungie on Twitter, and it seems that they first of all had problems with the Titan set not upgrading. Now, the way it normally works, and this is just how they wanted to do it across the board, once you completed your Majestic set, then it sped up the completion of the renewed set on another character. So if you've got your Majestic set, it would be a 2 times speed of getting your renewed done, and if you did 2 Majestics, it would be 3 times speed on your third character. Does that make sense? Well, what seemed to happen was that it wasn't working that way with the Titan, and the progress wasn't being upgraded quickly enough. So once they fixed it, they've basically said now that all renewed sets, so all blue sets, will all complete at 3 times the normal speed. So you do 1 strike and you'll get 3. This is great news so far. Now for the Majestic sets, once you complete your first Majestic set up to Magnificent, then you'll get a 2 times multiplier on your second character. So let's say you've gotten a Magnificent set on your Warlock and you want to use your Titan, you'll get the 2 times upgrade speed for the Majestic set on your Titan. And once you get that Majestic set up to Magnificent, then you'll get 3 times on your last character. So it does get significantly less painful as you go along. You can't get a speed up on completing your Magnificent set because there's only 1 criteria per piece, like completing the Pit of Heresy or doing 3 Altars of Sorrow or getting 7 Winds and Trials of Osiris. So that is the final upgrade, which doesn't get sped up, of course. Now then, it's worth noting as well that for the Magnificent set, none of them actually come as masterwork. You don't get masterwork armor this time around in Solstice of Heroes. You actually only get the glow. So once you complete all the items that you need to get on your Magnificent set, it'll get the white glow on that piece of armor. However, it's not all bad news, because once you've gotten to the Magnificent set, you will start getting randomly rolled armor, Solstice armor, dropping from the Solstice packages. You know, the things that you earn when you open all the chests around the place, and you use the Solstice key fragments to do that. Before you get the random rolled armor to drop, once you've gotten to Magnificent, go and see Eva Levante in the tower. She will give you a quest step to complete, and then once that step is completed, you will start getting the armor dropping in the Solstice packages. Don't just run off and start opening loads and loads of packages, because you're going to waste your keys and you're going to waste your packages big time. Go and see Eva once you've got the Magnificent set. Another thing that's come to my attention from my lovely people at the Time Sausages community is that the last set, the set for getting the white glows, is all effectively behind the Shadowkeep firewalls. Firewall? Paywall! Although it could be a firewall really, I suppose, because you're going to get burnt if you try and get through it. What I mean is that you have to do things that you can only do if you have the Shadowkeep expansion, Pit of Heresy and Altars of Sorrow and the Nightmare Hunts, things like that. So bear that in mind. The maximum you're going to get is the Magnificent without the glow. Still, nice looking armor though, and the glows for the Majestic set can just be purchased from Eververse, although that might be a tad expensive, but that's another topic entirely. We're not going to get into that. No, we're not. A few practical things now that you should be aware of, when sometimes it's unclear as to exactly what the step is. If you hover over the piece of armor, whatever it may be, on the main character screen, you can see it'll give you your bar of progress and exactly what it is you have to do. But occasionally, and this has led to a lot of confusion, it says combatants. Now, it doesn't tell you exactly what the combatants are. Now, it's referring to combatants in the European aerial zone. And To know that for sure, if you hover over the piece of armour that you want, click to go in, and then look at the description at the top that is just underneath the armour piece. There you will see a more in-depth breakdown of what exactly you have to do for that armour piece. So you use both pieces of information to know exactly where you are. Not that clear, but once you start doing it, it becomes second nature. Another time-saving thing I'd like to point out: when you're doing gambit matches to complete pieces of your armour, it only generates elemental orbs in your standard gambit, not in Gambit Prime. So to get elemental orbs, you need to play standard gambit. Gambit Prime counts for gambit matches, but you won't get the elemental orbs dropping in it. We don't know why this is. This was the same thing last year as well. So I'd recommend you just do standard gambit matches to get the gambit stuff done. Another piece of advice for you when you're doing your Warlock set: there's a requirement for you to get 150 arc super kills. I believe it's on the class armor. It says 150 arc super kills of Guardians. Now that means going to get arc super kills, of course, in the Crucible, which would take an age. 150 is a hell of a lot. But it's not Guardian kills, it's just 150 arc super kills of anything, you'll be relieved to know. So don't go doing it in the Crucible, just get it as you're going anywhere where you've got your arc super on. Phew, thank God for that, because that would have been a massive pain in the arse. Now what else I want to go over are the various things in the European aerial zone that are there to help you. First of all, if you don't know what these glowing yellow crystals are, they're very, very handy. Sometimes you see them hiding in the bus, or you see them atop some of the taller buildings. What they do is, if you shoot them, they explode and they drop the elemental orbs of that day. So if it's a void burn or a void empowerment day, they'll drop about 5, 6 or 7 dependent of those orbs. So that's handy to know to get your elemental charging up. Another thing which is very useful in regard to elemental charging, if you want to do it, occasionally you'll see a message saying there's a prismatic taken appeared. I say occasionally, I think it practically happens every match. And it says the location of where that prismatic taken, whether it be the garage or whatever. If you go to that location, you'll find a prismatic taken. Once you kill them, you will get full elemental charge from the kill. So you'll go straight into an empowerment burn, which is really cool. Oh, and one last little thing, which you might find useful. You might see these glowing pads around the place occasionally. Well, if you step on those... Step on those glowing pads, it's a teleport, and it'll shove you really high up in the sky, and you'll be able to get a nice aerial view of the next git that you're going to have to kill. How are you finding all this Solstice of Heroes malarkey? Are you enjoying it? Leave me a comment below to tell me if you are enjoying it, or it's a bit confusing and they've done a bit of a bum up with it this year. I don't know, seems to be a few cock-ups this year, but never mind, I'm enjoying it nonetheless. And if you did enjoy the video, if you could drop me a like as well, that would be fantastic. Only if you enjoyed it, mind. Right, I'm off now to make an Avengers video because I'm really enjoying the beta so far. Thanks for watching my lovely sausages, and I will see you all again very soon. Except I won't see you, because I can always say that. It's a video, I can't see you. You can't even see me because it's my voice. Right, I'm going then. Bye.